a tragedy involving someone trying to steal some copper from some equipment. So we'll start off, and then National Night Out Against Crime. Let's roll it in.
If you're one of the many residents in the Bayou Blue, Coteau Road, and East Houma areas, you are awakened by the lack of power in your area just after 1 a.m. Energy officials in the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office say a man broke into an energy substation and sent thousands, including the HTV transmitter, into darkness.
We received a notice from at our dispatch center that there was a fault at our Coteau substation where the electrical power to the substation had shut down. So one of our servicemen was dispatched early this morning, sometime after 1 a.m. to investigate the loss of power, and unfortunately discovered that there was a public fatality. There was an individual in the substation yard that was appeared to be deceased, and he immediately notified officials.
Officials say the man was attempting to steal a wire to sell it for scrap metal.
Upon deputies' arrival, they observed a white male subject on the ground with some wire cutters by his hand. Appeared to have been trying to cut the ground wire to steal copper wire. The subject was unresponsive because of electrocution. The subject was later identified as Timothy Lewis, white male, age 34, of Houma. Mr. Lewis is known to have had a pretty long criminal history and a history of drug abuse.
Energy officials and the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office say anyone trying to steal wires putting themselves in danger with the act.
Electrical wire looks harmless, just like when wires are laying down on top of a roadway. You think there's nothing there that'll hurt you, but the thousands and thousands of volts that goes to those wires will kill a person instantly. And it's something that a lot of people don't realize. Just like you hear on radio and see on television, don't monkey around power lines, there's a reason for it. The power inside those power lines is enormous, and people just don't understand what it can really do to you.
One new service that energy officials are suggesting residents do is to subscribe to outage alerts where they can be notified of an outage affecting their area via cell phone.
If you haven't signed up, there's a feature online called My Account Anywhere through www.entergy.com, and customers are able to receive notices of outages if they sign up for this feature. And it was a helpful tool this morning. If you have a cell phone and you sign up your cell phone number, you can receive notice of what's happening with the outage, why the outage is occurring, and how long we estimate that it will be before your power is restored.
In more police news, area residents team up to unite against crime in the annual Night Out Against Crime. We start off in Houma with a few block parties around town.
Okay, right now we're out at Dumas Auditorium right now, which is another one of our locations for the Neighborhood Watch and National Night Out Against Crime. It's such a fantastic opportunity to be participating in this with the police department. Right now we're out with Councilman Orlando Williams, who's a big proponent of Neighborhood Watch and assisting the police department with funding in attempts to make the Neighborhood Watch greater and successful and funded with different grants. Councilman Williams, would you ever have dreamed years ago that when this started that we'd be where we're at today?
No, actually I didn't. I'm very thankful for the support I've received for HPD over the years, but the problem was to try to get the community involved. And I'm so pleased because this is the second year in a row that we've had a successful event. This is the second one I've been to today. I have about 3 more to go to, but I'm pretty pleased with the turnout. I just want to say thank y'all because people are beginning to trust law enforcement. And when we first started all this, that's what it was all about, to bring trust back in the community. So I'm very thankful.
I think it's always a good thing when neighbors come together. For one, that's a good thing to begin with. But when you do have crime that we have in Terrebonne Parish, primarily in the drug arena, and unfortunately we have a lot of domestic violence, it's good for neighbors to watch out for their neighbors. And an event such as this puts emphasis and focus on that segment. Neighbors coming together to help each other, all right? To get to know their neighbors, get to see the faces. And it's always good. You guys do a great job, but y'all cannot be everywhere all the time.
Puts an extra set of eyes out for us, and it's a great exchange of information. Once again, we're back at Roberta Grove Neighborhood Watch for National Night Out Against Crime. I have here with me Miss Mary Oquin is the captain for this area. And Miss Oquin, is there anything you'd like to say to the public about Neighborhood Watch?
And I think that one thing I've learned since taking over this job is that Neighborhood Watch programs are real effective. The citizens have to buy into it, the neighbors have to work at it, but when you get organized and you're together, we have lowered our crime rate. We've cut it in half.
We then traveled to Thibodaux and visited a few block parties there.
We're over here at Thibodaux Police Department. We've got everything from food and games to music, and the Thibodaux Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, State Police participating. We have 3 other locations in the city, and obviously the reason is to bring the community together with law enforcement, just to show a unified front in our efforts to combat crime and provide a safe community for the city of Thibodaux. We've had a super turnout. We've got great weather, a little sunny, but better than rain any day. So we've had a great turnout. We appreciate everybody's participation. Anytime you bring the community together with law enforcement, it's got to be a communal effort, and it's got to be a partnership with us in the community. No one on their own can do it alone. So it really is vital. And what it does, it gives us a chance to meet everybody in the city, those folks that we may not meet on a regular basis, in a real informal setting. And a lot of kids out here, as you see, and face painting, and so it really does. It really cements that relationship between the community and the law enforcement agencies.
Man, you were so positive on that, Chief Scott Silveri. Welcome back to the program, and I like the way you just jump into that microphone.
Oh, I'm excited about the community, excited about Night Out Against Crime. Great night.
I like that. We're going to talk a lot about that, but you brought some guests tonight, so I want you to introduce them, and I know they're waiting for you to talk good about them. So.
Oh, I always talk good about it. You know, Martin, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. Right. And when I was fortunate enough to have the job as the chief of police in the city of Thibodaux, I inherited guys like Lieutenant Todd Gagnard. Todd's originally from Metairie, played college baseball at Nichols. The city of Thibodaux was fortunate enough to have him remain in the city, and where he's risen to the rank of lieutenant, one of my shift commanders, and he supervises the field training officer program. Seated next to him is Officer Joe Perio. Joe tells me he was all-state basketball player in Terrebonne, and he's also a planking expert, from what I understand.
Yeah, what is planking? What's planking? Let's get that out of the way, because the chief was talking about that in the green room. So, Joe, show me what planking is.
No, please don't show you.
Okay, well, at least we got him on the spot anyway. Oh, wait, you were really all-state?
Yes, sir.
In basketball?
Yes, sir.
You could shoot the 3?
Yes.
Okay, all right. You got some credentials to prove that? The
yes.
chief wants to know that. Well, good. We got a baseball player, a basketball player, and a football player.
Yeah, football. We got it all rounded up.
We got it all ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna talk, first of all. Let's take a break. When we come back, a lot to talk about, and we're going to open up Night Out Against Crime. It's all next. Don't go away.